Welcome to the After the Show movie podcast, brought to you by your hosts Ace Scully and Sid Talk. We're addicted to movies. Are you? Oh, you just caught me drinking a cup of tea. I'm trying to get some tea down me before the show, Sid Talk.
You talking to yourself?
No, I'm talking to the you.
I'm not catching you doing anything. I'm not clicking the buttons.
Yeah. So, don't worry, I'll cut out the slurping noises. If there were any. I don't know. Sid Talk, what's the before the after the show discussion?
It wasn't you slurping tea. I can tell you that.
I'm just going to slurp some more now.
Before the after the show discussion was this movie and doing some research about this movie and some more about this movie. That's it, pretty much.
The things we do for the listener, we research, we do all kinds of stuff, you know?
It's so hard to like type, read,
Yeah.
type, read.
And hope you're being told the truth.
Oh, you've just added a layer
Yes.
of confusion to research.
Yeah. So don't take anything we say.
Nothing.
No.
Absolutely nothing.
No. All right, Sid Talk, let's get on with the podcast. It is Friday, April the 25th. This is after the show number 888. That's the 888 show. So
Aye.
we're looking at a new movie this week, and that movie is Captain America Brave New World. It's a 2025 release, out now on streaming, rated PG-13. Its runtime is 1 hour and 58 minutes, and it's from our friends at Marvel and Disney who sent us a copy to watch. Sid Talk, can you give us the synopsis of the movie Captain America Brave New World?
Was that all one sentence?
Yes.
If you're writing that, would it just be one big long stream of words that you're saying all in a row?
Yes.
Synopsis. Captain America saves something?
Let me give you the one off the box.
Saves us all?
Sam Wilson, the new Captain America, finds himself in the middle of an international incident and must discover the motive behind a nefarious global plan. Even that sounds vague. Like,
Yeah.
that sounds like they didn't know. They didn't know.
See, it's a question mark in my mind.
All right, so it's the new Marvel MCU movie, Captain America Brave New World. Sid Talk, what did you think of it?
I enjoyed it. I had a good time. It was a fun movie. I had a bowl of popcorn, cup of tea. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It was entertaining. And yet I felt through the entire thing, like scene by scene by scene, like this seems really flat and like unworthy. Is that terrible? And I felt like something was wrong with it, even though I was fine. I mean, I can't pick it apart. It's comic book stuff, right? So, I know that's insulting to a lot of people, but I just couldn't put my finger on how it felt not well put together story-wise. That would be my complaint.
Well, I love Marvel movies and
You
shows,
do?
but I dislike this movie.
Oh, dislike.
Yeah, and I really like the previous Captain America movies.
Mhm.
I think there's some of the best of the Marvel movies. I thought this one was just a mess.
I'll tell you what, my favorite thing is the Captain America guy. I don't know his name.
Captain America to you.
No, the guy who plays him.
Anthony Mackie.
Yes, I think I like watching him and the guy who played the guy who was in prison, the older guy.
Well, what I would say is this movie's a mess.
Yeah.
First off, you know, we watched Falcon and the Winter Soldier, which was when we got the new Captain America in that show. And he hasn't had his own outing since that show, which was, it seems like years ago. So this is his first outing as Captain America on the big screen. I thought that was going to be something special, but you're right. This isn't what it should have been.
It just felt...
What it felt like to me was the skeleton of a Marvel movie with some political intrigue like stuck on top of it, but then all of it's kind of watered down as well.
Yes, sadly.
So it just comes across as like, oh, it's just lame. All the setups that they do and all that in this movie, including spoilers, let's say spoilers, there is an appearance by the Hulk, the Red Hulk, let's call him. It's just not even utilized. They spend like 3/4 of the movie building up to a Red Hulk appearance.
Mm-hmm.
The Red Hulk appears. It does some really CG showy off stuff, and that's it. It just he has a fight on a road.
Yeah.
I mean, he trashes some of the White House, and then he has a fight on a road, and that's literally it. Like, that's it. There's nothing more to it than that.
Kind of the same as when the Winter Soldier appeared and had that fight in a road.
Yes, I mean, they do like a road fight.
They do.
And when Captain America came to stop him and they were having a fight, I was like, okay, is this going to be like the climax of this movie, or is this something else, or is this just getting to that?
Mm-hmm.
And then I was like, no, this is the climax of the movie. This is what this is why we came to watch this movie. And I'm like, it's just a CG fight of a Hulk and a man, and it's short and nothing really happens. Some things get broken. Nobody gets hurt. It's just inconsequentially bad. So I wasn't into it. There's a load of other stuff in the movie that just is nothing as well. Like, I think that's its problem.
That's my thing. I don't think of it as bad.
Well, it's bad. Like, it looks blurry. It's CG. It's bad.
Some of it. Now, sometimes the Hulk, the face and close up was really good because I like that they took Harrison Ford and smashed his face in there. That was fine. But then you start to zoom out, and then the size situation, which I hate to nitpick, but if you're going to make a Hulk, make him like 15 feet high in every shot. Not like sometimes he's this tall and the guy's as tall as him, and sometimes he's this tall. And that's the stuff I start picking apart instead of kind of like being into it.
I know I was picking apart the movie and I don't know if you noticed this, but this is not even to do with CG. It's a technical thing. There were at least 4 shots in the movie that went on for an extended period where the focus puller had missed focus completely. So the edges of the screen were not even in focus. Yeah, and it looked bad. Like,
I did notice that, but I think that was on purpose.
If that's on purpose, what is the point of that? Because it just makes it look bad. I was like, is there something wrong with this?
It's like that weird, there was a trend there for a while where edges and
vignettes and all
trying to make it look like, quality photography,
Yeah, maybe that's what they were trying, like a lens flare thing or whatever. But I saw it in multiple scenes and I was like, that just looks like somebody did that wrong. So I don't like that. Also, portions of the plot, which I thought just were terrible. Like, they didn't lead to anything. It's like a breadcrumb trail of nothing. And when you get to the very end, a load of shit happened, but none of it matters. None of it. At all. Like, who cares?
I know, it's
Even
sad.
if we were moving into the next movie in the MCU, we wouldn't have to reference this movie at all. It's just like, maybe, this is where the Red Hulk came from. Remember that? That's pretty much all there is to it, right?
Yeah.
So for me, it's a complete fail. Like, I thought the series...
At least I had fun with it. It just could have been some other kind of story, not an MCU story. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. And as it is, it's just weak on all fronts. It's even weak on this front. Winter Soldier shows up. It's literally like something they filmed in one afternoon, like where he's just stood there and says like 10 lines.
He's there to support his friend.
And then he walks off and then you don't see him again. The same with Liv Tyler's character.
Oh, yeah.
What's that all about?
Don't even get me started.
I don't even think she was there.
I agree. It's really weird.
Because it's like, we're only going to see her through a pane of glass, but Captain America stood behind her and we'll see him perfectly sharp and close up.
Yeah, it was very bizarre.
Yeah, I was looking at it like going, okay, I've waited the whole movie to see if Liv Tyler was... Here she is. Oh, this is weird. Why am I looking at her through a milk bottle?
And her head's not moving, and from behind, it's not her. It's like
it
stand-in kind of head. Yeah.
Yeah, like they brought a robot in there or something.
It's bizarre.
Yeah, so even those two things were half-assed. And I don't know, it was just half-assed in general. There was nothing in it.
You sure it wasn't quarter-assed?
No.
I mean, that's even less than half-assed.
I'm trying to think of something I liked. And I was going to say, well, the banter between the new Captain America and his sidekick Robin, maybe that's fun. No, it wasn't. It was just dumb.
No, it was dumb.
Also,
sadly.
I would also like to an honorable mention for this movie. I think it should win the award for it. Exposition dialogue.
Oh my God.
the movie assumes you are an idiot and says everything. The characters say it between each other, but it's clearly telling you.
It does.
Yeah.
It really does.
And sometimes you're listening to like somebody talking. I'll give you an example. The part where the chicken man from Breaking Bad was walking down that little hallway with Captain America, just telling us what's going to happen next. And that was the only, it seemed like the only reason for that scene was like, so we would know what's coming up. There were a few times, more than 3 times, where I was listening to the dialogues thinking, I know this already, you don't have to tell me. And that just, I don't know, it's weak. Is it because they think you're stupid or they think you've forgot?
It's a good question.
Because this is a sequel, basically, to the Incredible Hulk movie from 2008. It's a movie that you will not remember, probably, unless you've watched them all recently, where Ed Norton played the Incredible Hulk.
And it was the origin of this guy, the leader.
And William Hurt played the guy who Harrison Ford plays in this movie. So that's also confusing.
Yeah, I just realized also confusing is when you have a story contained in a movie that has more than one villain. So we have the president as with Harrison Ford as a pending villain because Red Hulk. Mm-hmm. We have Chicken Man as obviously the guy who wants to kill a Captain America. And we have Brain Guy. So then we have all the minions, all the tough guys who get roped into working for each of the villains.
Yeah.
And then we also have we don't know for sure in the beginning, the little ballerina lady turns out to be a Black Widow. She was trained with Black Widow.
Yeah.
We have her as a potential villain, which turns out, spoiler, not to be the case, but it kind of comes across that way. Then we also have his assistant lady who you can question a couple of times because she's really close to the president that, is she going to turn against him? Yeah. So the idea that you're not focused on the one big bad guy or bad lady, you kind of bounce around like, who are we fighting against? What is the threat?
Maybe that's the point.
This is my other thing. I want, if it's a superhero movie, right, the big kind, this big universe we're doing, the threat, I think I'm a bit anesthetized to the threats. It needs to be the threat of all existence. The snap, I'm a fan of, because getting rid of half of all the life in the entire universe, that is a killer move, right?
Yeah.
Well, it turns out it wasn't, but it's pretty slick as far as bad guy moves go. That is a threat. Everything else seems like, what are you going to do? Destroy this planet? There's other planets. Oh, wait, there's other universes. There's multiverses. We know that no matter what happens, nothing is ever going to all be destroyed. And I feel like my standard is now very, very, very high.
I have another problem with this movie. Let's see if you have this one. Okay, we've watched every single Marvel piece of content. Everything. Including, like, the cartoon shows and stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we've watched it all. We've seen it all unfold. Now, this starts, and then they babbling on about something, and they say something's come out of the water. Or this something. What is that? What was that? What's that big thing in the water? The island of something.
Oh, wasn't that in another movie?
I don't remember it. I was like...
You looked that up then. I thought it was from another movie.
I was like, I don't
was just
recall.
Going with the flow.
Oh, I don't recall that in another movie. So I was thinking, is that something that happened off screen? You can't have something so big as that happen off screen. Because look at it when it actually goes there.
It's amazing.
Yeah. And I was looking at it going, okay, it looks like a man coming up out of the water. There's his hand, there's his head.
Well, it's called the Celestial Island, so I'm assuming it's one of the things, where they Guardians of the Galaxy go in that big empty skull.
Right.
I assume it's one of those.
I was thinking, now, I've seen all the movies. I know what's going on. I was like, I don't recall ever seeing this before.
Oh, I just was going with it,
But then
man.
I was like, is it from that movie, The Eternals? The one that nobody remembers much?
Oh.
And then I was like, if it is... Why is it here now? Like, why now are we dealing with it again?
Or
that
is
movie
it
was
from
like,
Captain Marvel?
I don't know. I would have to look it up. But to me, as just a casual viewer who watches all these things, I had no idea what it was.
Okay. Well, I was going to ask you about it.
I was like, this is cool, but fuck knows what it is.
It's really
why
cool.
are we bothered about it?
Because it has adamantium. adamantium.
It did.
And that I'm really
Something.
sad because unless there's an Easter egg I didn't catch, we have no references to adamant. Come on. If we're going to do superhero comic book shit
Stand and deliver.
you call one of the fine metals that you find from outer space adamantium, you have to have either an adamant song or adamant in the background of a scene or had adamant walking up and greeting someone as the president or somebody, and then somebody else going, hey, don't I know you? And him looking at them kind of cheeky. I mean, if you're going to do it, you know what I'm saying?
It's too obvious.
Like, I don't care. I feel like that would have bumped it up a little bit.
Anyway, that Cool Island / man thing coming out of the water, that was cool.
It was
if you know
very
what
cool.
It is. Yeah. There was a lot of things where I was like, I feel like I've stepped into the middle of something and I missed the first bit.
Right.
And I've even seen all the other stuff. So
I
that's
get ya.
weird. Also, you know, when he introduced us to his new sidekick, I was like, who the hell's this guy? Wait, is this guy just come out of nowhere? Did he magic him up out of his ass? Because we've never seen him either. Yeah.
Oh, I thought he was a thing as well.
No, he's never been in anything as far as I can tell.
Wow.
Unless he was in Falcon and Winter Soldier right at the very end or something. But,
Or in maybe one of those other TV shows, like you said.
well, Falcon and Winter Soldier was the TV show where...
Because he says he's from Miami.
Yeah.
So,
Is he from a TV show that's not been on yet?
oh, well, that'd be tricky.
Because there's the next Marvel show is Ironheart, which is she was in Black Panther 2. She's the person who becomes Iron Man, basically, like a female Iron Man. And that's the next movie. And that might be in Miami. Maybe he's from something we haven't seen yet. But still, I was like, okay, he's got a guy now? Fine. So yeah, loads of problems. I could probably go on with another 10 problems, but I won't. Let's get on to the cast. Are you good with everything about the movie?
Yeah. I mean, again, I was entertained, though, so I got that going for me.
I wasn't really.
That's unfortunate.
No, I was picking it apart too much, going, oh, God, look at that. Look at that. Look at that terrible CG.
Oh, I had to just redirect my brain particles or whatever, my synapses
And
from
to
like
be fair on this movie, when I did go and research in, quotation marks, it had several reshoots.
Yep.
There was a trouble at the mill, as they call it, during this movie. It wasn't going well. Test audiences were saying they didn't get what was going on.
So they reshot a bunch of it.
And they
It's
reshot
just-
it. So this is what we got. I can't imagine what that first one was like. Maybe it was better. Who knows? But let's get on to the cast. Anthony Mackie plays Captain America. I don't fault him. I think he's actually good.
He's amazing. I want to watch him in other things.
Yes, and clearly we're getting ready for a new Avengers because they mentioned that how many times in this movie. Let's get the Avengers back together.
Yeah.
We got Danny Ramirez as Joaquin Torres.
And he was good. It's just that
He's the Falcon.
He was the cheeky chappy, talk, trying to be funny, which wasn't funny, and kind of boring character.
Yeah.
Because he's, like you said, he's just the fill-in when Captain America can't do the thing. And we also need a new Falcon, right? So,
Yes.
which is fine. It's just that they made it like too, when you got Captain America, he's serious. Like, he takes it seriously. And then the sidekick is like, hey, buddy, let's get a selfie. Oh.
A bit like Robin in Batman.
It feels, no, not at all. Like, I think Robin was pretty serious. At
Which
least
one are you thinking
the
of?
ones I'm renditions have seen him. So I don't know. I think Robin's fine. I think this is like a modern, hey, we need somebody who's like, conventionally attractive and funny.
And he's like a jock guy. He's like physical.
Physical fit. I mean, he's nice enough person, it seems like, but just not interesting. The character. I would watch both of them in a new movie where they take it a little more seriously.
Yeah. Yeah. Harrison Ford is the president of the United States of America.
He did all right.
Yeah.
I mean, he's Harrison Ford.
He did
and
his Harrison Ford.
He
thing.
had moments of I was convinced he was a pissed off old man who wanted to see. His whole storyline is this: he's been an asshole through all of the MCU and all of the comic books, I'm assuming, trying to take down the Hulk, probably trying to get rid of all the superheroes. I don't even know. I feel like that. I don't even know his story, but the whole theme of this movie, the theme of the movie, is about how a man can change.
Yes.
And we have to accept that even if a guy does a bunch of bad stuff and he tries really, really, really hard, that he can change. And that's the exploration of, and I'm on board with that to a degree. Of course. But if a person actually tries to like tear down an entire group of people with violence and war and imprisonment and then goes, well, sorry, everybody, I just want my daughter to love me again because I'm not that guy anymore. I mean, the fact that, here's a spoiler for you, he ends up in prison, I was totally fine with that. I felt like that was totally appropriate.
That might have been the thing that made the most sense.
It did. That made sense to me. I'm like, and he accepted it, his responsibility, so I dug that. And so I didn't mind, but it just seemed like a long way to go to make a man have, some realizations about being a better person. I don't know.
We've got Liv Tyler, ? As Betty Ross.
I mean, it's definitely her voice and her face.
She makes a phone call to her dad at one point, and it's her on the phone.
Yes.
So they could manage her on the phone.
Well, the thing is, we don't know.
Yeah, maybe it wasn't.
These days.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We got Giancarlo Esposito as Sidewinder. Now, I'm thinking, you got the Chicken Man from Breaking Bad. He's a badass. He can be a badass in a lot of things, and he's always typecast as the bad guy. And here he turns up as the bad guy, and then underutilized and not very interesting. Like, why would you get him and then do what you did here with him? Because they didn't do anything really, did they?
He was just sort of a thug.
Yeah.
It felt like, and he was really hell-bent on killing Captain America.
Yeah, and there was a cool action sequence with him, and then nothing.
Yeah.
It was like, oh. And we did learn later that he was inserted right at the very end on the last reshoot. He wasn't even in the movie until that point. So that was them just going, what the fuck are we going to do here? We need something else.
Because that character exists, I'm assuming, in the universe.
Yes, he does. And my guess was he was going to be introduced much later, not in this movie. It was, and then I've got Shira Haas as Ruth Bat Seraph, and she's the Black Widow lady.
I liked her.
Yeah, I did like her too. She's going to be really tough, right? You know, when you saw her in like a Secret Service outfit in the White House. And I'm thinking, she's either a baddie or she's just a really tough superhero type. Or she's going to change into something.
Yeah.
But she's actually a Black Widow trained at the Red Room, as they say.
Yeah.
In the exposition dialogue. Directed by Julius Onah. He directed the movie The Cloverfield Paradox, if you remember that one. It was the one up in space, in the space station. It was the worst of the Cloverfield movies. I think the last minute of it was quite cool, but the rest of it felt a bit like a Black Mirror episode, kind of cheapy.
Okay.
So what do you think of his directing it? And I can't really comment.
It's hard to judge.
Yeah.
I'm going to say it's really hard.
What did he direct here and what didn't he direct? Also.
Oh, true. And I mean, if the project is that much of a tumultuous, how do you say that?
Sounds right.
Yeah, close enough. To me, and I've said this many times on this very podcast, on this little recording we do, that the director is the project manager. Regardless of what anyone else thinks, it's the creative person in charge. Now, the producers, the executive producers, the showrunners, the studio, I know they all have, they're all in charge in quotation marks, but the director is supposed to be sort of the leader, the on-point person who literally takes, you see the umbrella of all the other things happening and all the other people in the umbrella, and this is the person at the very top. And if you lose control of everything and it doesn't turn out to be a good project, then I have to say maybe something was going on with the director, and I don't know that. But it feels like it always leads back to that.
Yeah. IMDb reviews, one of those.
Those are reviews that you find on IMDb. And you're going to read the lowest scores. And this time, you might enjoy them because you often find that the ones you agree with entertain you.
Overall, this movie gets a 5.4 on IMDb.
Okay.
So there's definitely going to be some 1-star ratings.
Absolutely.
All right. Number 1, guy says, as a longtime fan of Captain America and the MCU, I had high expectations for this latest installment. However, after watching the film, I was utterly disappointed. It's weak storyline, lackluster performances, and it is a frustrating and uninspired addition to the MCU. Agree.
Yeah.
Second guy says, is this a joke? Captain America Brave New World is a disheartening misstep in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, failing to honor the legacy of its predecessors. Anthony Mackie's portrayal of Sam Wilson as the new Captain America is undermined by a script that offers no substantial character development, rendering his performance lackluster and uninspired.
Yeah, so he's not the problem. This
No.
is what I think a lot of people will misinterpret it, like, oh, so we can't have a new Captain America. Not true at all. It is everything that he's handed, right?
Yeah.
Unfortunately, the weight of it is on that person. And in the movie, they even talk about this. He says that the expectations are really hard to come up to. And he's talking about replacing Captain America without having the serum to make him like superhuman, and that it actually made him emotional. I felt like in that moment, the Mackie guy was actually feeling like, yeah, this is reality, mother truckers. Like this feeling that I am never going to be good enough for this. And I feel like, unfortunately, then everything else didn't live up to his standard of what he is capable of.
The third guy says, was the big reveal for this movie the Red Hulk? If so, like you kept us waiting for 3/4 of the movie. We knew it was coming. It's on the poster and the popcorn buckets you're giving us in the theaters.
Exactly.
Shame on you, Marvel. Yeah, exactly. If you've seen, 6 months of advertising for this movie, you've seen the Red Hulk 6,000 times. It's ingrained into your mind.
Let me tell you my relationship with the Red Hulk in terms of this movie. I had no idea it even existed until we took a pee break in the middle of the movie. And then when this thing was up on the screen and I looked over on the corner and I saw the icon of the cover of the box, and I'm like, oh, what's that? And this was more than half. We were 2/3 of the movie through. And I looked up, I'm like, what? I get it. We already introduced the idea of him having some funky pills, right? And his eyes turned red one time. But I didn't know what that meant. And then I'm like, oh, there's another Hulk, but we're 2/3 of the way through. And I don't even care about that. But I was a bit like, oh, that is super weird.
I knew Red Hulk was coming. You wasn't in the home theater when I pressed play I pressed play and then paused it.
Mm-hmm.
But the actual, like you say, the whole screen is a big picture of the Red Hulk before it, the menu screen.
Oh, right.
Yeah. So it's no secret.
It was to me.
If you advertise in a movie on the back of a big Red Hulk, you can't make it a surprise. And they're clearly trying to make it a surprise in this movie, right? Unless you have to be fairly stupid not to see that the president is doing something weird and acting weird and getting angry and changing his eyes and stuff.
Just one time, though. Yeah. One little time for a brief split second, and then I was like, what's going on? His calf got big and busted his pants a little bit, and I'm like, wait a minute.
Enough, though.
Is this Lou Ferrigno? Lou Ferrigno?
Yeah.
It's not.
It should have been. That would have been really funny.
And people should know, we are of the generation that watched the original Incredible Hulk television show on a regular basis with all of our other beloved shows like $6 Million Man, Bionic Woman, A-Team, all that shit was going on. Dukes of Hazzard.
Yeah.
Back in the day, where episodically we meet David Banner, Bruce Banner.
Yes.
David, why do I call him David Banner?
He might have been called David Banner.
I think he was.
In the TV show.
I think he was.
Yeah.
We meet him, and he's a do-gooder guy he's a scientist, gets zapped with his own gamma rays, and then he discovers this is in the show. This has nothing to do with comic books, because I didn't even know it existed in the comic books. I didn't read them when I was a kid, 70s, 80s time. So that's all I knew was, he got mad because he got zapped with some gamma rays, and then when he gets mad, he turns into the Hulk, kind of saves the day, wrecks a bunch of stuff, and then goes on to the next town and does it again. So that's my reference for the Hulk, totally. So in this one, when it's like somebody's going to be the Hulk, like I want it to be like the whole movie. I want it to start out with some big scene. I don't even like action scenes. And I want that. And then I want to be convinced that the Hulk is either a hero or a villain. And this one, it makes you question it. Like, well, we know he doesn't want to destroy everybody. And as the Hulk, is he going to, or is he neutral? And then eventually we talk him down, and that's it.
Yep.
It sucks all the energy out of the Hulk situation.
All right. Extras and conclusion. We saw no extras because we watched the streaming version.
We have no conclusion.
Let's give this movie a score. I'm actually going to give, I forgot what it was. I was going to call it The Incredible Hulk. I'm going to give Captain America Brave New World a 5 out of 10.
I'm going with 6 because I had a good time. And regardless of the quality of the movie, I had a good time. So.
All right. I won't take that away from you.
Thanks.
Next week, we're looking at a new movie called The Woman in the Yard. Do you know it?
I don't.
It has a red Hulk in the middle of it.
Right on.
Yeah.
It does not.
All right. Movie recommendations. I'm going to give you 2 Captain America movies that are actually good. And that's Civil War, which is my favorite one of them all.
It is.
That one's like a proper spy thriller with Captain America in it. It's got a really good plot. And the other one is The Winter Soldier, which they're kind of companions. I like both of them. So if you want to watch really good Captain America movies, Civil War and The Winter Soldier. What are yours?
My recommendations are going back to the entire history of cinema and the horror movies that have accompanied its progression as an art form. And I'm up to 1984. So I have Night of the Comet, 1984, which I remember absolutely loving.
Yeah.
I would have been about 18 minus I graduated in 86, so 16 years old. Would have been on HBO, so I would have got it a year later. So 1985-ish. I probably watched it 20 times whenever it was on HBO, and just these girls, I don't know now if it would hold up, but you know, the world is ending because of a comet, and then there's zombies and there's craziness, and Day of the Dead. Isn't that one of your favorite Romero's?
Yes.
Yes, that's 1985.
It's
and then
the army base one.
Right. And then we have Fright Night, which, you know, I remember really enjoying it. Again, I'd have to watch it again to see how wrong I am, but it's a zombie, it's a vampire one.
Yeah, it's
and
very fun, that one.
Have Return of the Living Dead. Speaking of fun, I really love that movie. It's like a beloved thing to me, and I don't even know why, because it's not great, but it's great. And then that's 1984, and Reanimator 1985, which, to your surprise, I had never watched, and I don't even know if I've watched it all yet. Have I watched the whole thing? Did we get it so I could watch it on Halloween or something?
Yeah, you watched all of them at one point. Not on the Scream channel or whatever. You watched actually our versions of them.
So that is all.
All right. Thank you. Hey, Scully Stuff, I've been playing a new game this week called Claire Obscure Expedition 33. That's a mouthful. That
it is.
It's a French game. That's hence the long title. All long titles from French games.
Okay.
It's an RPG. It's on Game Pass. It's got a really cool premise, and this is what I really like about it. Okay, so get with this premise. Are you ready? So there's these French people. They're on in the future, so at some point in like a version of Paris.
Okay.
Across the water, there is a giant lady. She's called the Paintress, and she paints with a big paintbrush. She's across the water, and every year she comes out of a little hidey hole, stands in the middle of the water. She's giant like a Godzilla, and she paints a number on a rock face. And the number that she paints, as soon as she paints it and looks towards Paris, towards the mainland, all the people who are either that number's age or above disappear, like the reckoning. So every year she does that.
You mean like the snap?
Like the snap, exactly like that. But they turn into like rose petals and just like go into the ground.
Okay.
It's kind of fancy looking when it happens. So that happens at the beginning. And every year she comes and does it again.
So
and
every year it's a different number?
The number always goes down by 1.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah. So where we are in the story, Expedition 33. So what happens is she comes out, paints the number, all the people of the ages die, and the people who were like age 32, they go on this expedition to try and kill her because they don't want it to happen again, right? But every year that expedition never comes back.
Okay.
But every year we keep sending the expedition out. So you play one of the leaders of Expedition 33. It starts on the day of the reckoning for that year. She writes 33 on the thing. all the people in the town die right in front of you, including your character's girlfriend, right? He's giving her a kiss as she disappears. And he goes out, he gets to the other side of the water, on the beginning of the mission. I've only just started. He gets onto land. This all happens in the first 20 minutes.
Goodness.
And the land over there where the paintress is, she's gone back inside a little cave now, but there's a whole land over there. We step on the land. We don't know what's going to be there because nobody's ever been there and come back and tell the tale. And there's this guy, and he looks old, and he's wearing like one of their suits. So he's from a previous expedition, but he's still alive. And he proceeds to murder everybody in your party. He just murders everybody. There's just me left.
Goodness.
So now it's my quest to figure out what's going on here and maybe save the world. But who knows? It's crazy. I think it's a really cool premise. It reminds me of like a really cool book.
Yes.
It isn't based on a book, but it's got that kind of grand book kind of thing. So it's called Claire Obscure Expedition 33, and it's on Game Pass. Now you can play it if you've got Game Pass. Sitar, what's for dinner?
Tonight we're going to have some salad, or salad, as I like to say, with some nuggets. So those will be plant-based nuggets because we are vegetarian now.
Sounds all right.
Have been for a long time, and I'm just in the mood for a salad. You know why? Because it's warm. It's warm.
I wouldn't call it hot, but it is warm at the moment.
It's warm,
yeah. So what is your advice? And then we'll get out of it.
Well, my advice is probably not advice if you were on a definition, but just like this movie and like the concept and like actual human politics made me think of this. So I am like I am actually one of almost 8 billion other people on this planet now. And then like one of hundreds of billions, trillions that have ever and will ever live who do not run the fucking world. All of us do not run the world. We don't rule the world. We might run it as in we're the engine that keeps the human world going. We don't rule the world, right? I have no desire to run the world. I have no desire to destroy others because of their perspective on the world. I have no desire to covet or try to steal other people's resources so that I can run the fucking world. I have none of that. I can't control anything in the whole of the world except my life. I don't have any of that. So I exist because like billions of years of shit has been happening in the universe. Atoms flying around, smashing into each other, clumps of matter sucking up oxygen and electricity, pumping my heart. Basically, that's all that's happened, really. And it will keep going on and on. And when I'm dead, and these particles, like you just said, like when the snap happened, you just sort of fall into particles, right? When they're done being all clumped together, nothing in this universe will change. I will be gone, and people right now will be sad. But in spite of all the dickheads, and I'm going to say dickhead, asshole, pieces of shit, egotistical maniacs who want to run the world, they will have had no impact on the universe. It is all ego. It is all performance, and it is for their own broken minds and hearts. That is the only reason people want to run the world and think that the world is a game, the world of humans, we'll say, to move everyone around on a board like a chessboard where like, ooh, yes, I'm so fucking clever. Look at me. I'm going to have a legacy of being like, I renamed this body of water, or I invaded this country, or I built a statue. Look at me, how great I am. I mean, when you say it, it sounds ridiculous, right? And so I just want to make it very clear, I do not want to run the world.
Well said. Beyonce says girls want to run the world, isn't it?
Nah,
Rule the world.
not. Girls just want to have fun. I'm of the Cyndi Lauper generation.
Right, okay. Girls rule the world, I think it is. All right, thank you, Sid Talk.
Time rules the world, my dear.
Exactly. All right, ascully.com, that's the place you can go to get this podcast. Twitter, Instagram, Blue Sky, anywhere that social media is, we are. I'm A. Scully, she's Sid Talk. We're also on Spotify, iTunes, Amazon Music, YouTube, anywhere that podcasts are available. You can also email feedback to me, ascully@ascully.com. Don't email Sid Talk. She doesn't want your email. And stay classy. Marvel, do something better next time. Thank you.
I'm going to say, think for yourself. Because if you're not doing it, trust me, someone is trying to do it for you.